I think I have to start the welcome speech. Are you ready?
Yes, please.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. This is perhaps the 7th year of conducting training under the coordination of Professor Jamal Hussain. Since 2015, we are conducting training offline or online every year. This year also, in the month of March, at the fact end of the financial year, we are conducting two times in Aizawl Club and once in Jebuana College, Lunglei. That was very helpful, and all the nodal officers are prompt enough to upload as much as they could. However, new devices are coming. So we need to revive, we need to refresh, and we need to get a training from our coordinator, whatever it will be there. And I welcome our Director of Higher and Technical Education, Mrs. Najuk Kumar, IAS. She will be enlightening us before the technical session begins. So I leave the rest of the program to our Director and Professor Jamal Hussain. Thank you all.
Thank you, Buzwala. I'm extremely sorry for the inconvenience. There is a fluctuation of the network. Currently, there is power failure in MZU actually. So I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, yes.
The director, all the time they're supporting, and that's how it is possible to up data every year. I also should mention that due to the teamwork, the support of all the institutional nodal officers and their hard work, because of this, all these years, this is the 11th round, madam, 11th round of survey. Year, as you might have aware also, that it is our state who completed in time 100% uploading of information. So we have been getting all appreciation for time. It is particularly very important to have some interaction with the nodal officer, because this mode of collection of data is entirely changed. Earlier it was like PDF formats where those formats we downloaded and entered and uploaded. Now it is wave form, and there are certain changes also. So that's how some technical session and interaction with the nodal officer is very important. I hope we'll get continued support from the director, from all the nodal officers, and we make sure that we upload authentic information that will reflect the true scenario of higher education status in our state. So in the NEP 2020, the target by the Government of India is reaching 50% GER by the year 2035. So all of us know, so we have a very important role to play in this. And if we submit the data, authentic data in time, then our picture of higher education will be reflected, and then policymakers can take appropriate measures to give more opportunities to the students and attract more and more students towards higher education, subsequently contributing to increase in GER. With these words, I welcome everyone once again. And I also acknowledge the support from the Ministry of Education all the time. Anytime their director was online, but he said he was very busy, so he cannot remain here. So anyway, I welcome everyone. Over to Zuala for.
Thank you very much, Professor Jamal.
So I think you've already given the welcome, so I can continue from here.
Yes. Now may we call upon our honorable director to continue this welcome speech and necessary things.
Good afternoon to everybody, respected officers from our director from the Ministry of Education, all our nodal officers from our colleges, officers from our directorate, principals, professors, and everybody present here. It is my sincere honor and pleasure to welcome you all to this workshop on the All India Survey on Higher Education. So I think it's not something very new for all of you, and you're very, we've done so many rounds of the survey now, and most of our nodal officers, we are aware of what all the survey entails. But I'll just like to give a little bit of background and why it is so important. So because when we are doing something again and again, we sometimes we forget the bigger picture, and that motivation goes down when you're doing something for the nth time. So we note that today India has a very large chunk of population which is in the young age. So young age, I would say from 15 years to 40 years. So this is what we all know it as demographic dividend. This dividend, if we utilize it well, it can take the economy and the country to forward by leaps and bounds. So for this purpose, higher education is the most powerful tool to build a very modern and a knowledge-based youth of the country. So in Mizoram, we know that we have one of the highest literacy rates in the country. We have the Mizoram University, we have about 25 government colleges, 8 self-financing colleges and 3 professional colleges. And we also have the ICFI University. So with the growing size and diversity of higher education in the country, so we understand that in terms of the courses that we have today, the kind of institutions, the faculty, the students, there is a lot of diversity, and what may be okay here may not be all right in southern India or in northern India. So we recognizing that size and diversity is one of the major aims of this survey. We realize that an authentic and sound database is needed to be able to cater to all this diversity. When somebody is sitting in Delhi and making a policy, or for example, when the National Education Policy of 2020 was being formed, that time somebody in Delhi needs to have the real data of why Mizoram is different from Manipur and different from Tripura. So for that purpose, it becomes very, very important for all of us to share the real data. Whatever it is, it may be something that you, as being a nodal officer of a college, you may not be very comfortable sharing, or you may feel that maybe we should improve this, or kind of mask the reality. But I think that we need to, as a statistical measure, give authentic data, because the purpose of this survey is not to rank colleges. This is not a NARC assessment or to judge performance. So it's important that we fill in the correct data without any hesitation or any other calculations. So thus, data is of crucial importance in making an informed policy decision, policy evaluation, and then research and development in the education sector. So it's not just policy decisions, but also the evaluation. So suppose if we are trying to implement NEP, is it working, is it not working? We will get to know from the survey itself. So this survey, a little bit about the survey, it was created as an annual web-based survey conducted by the Ministry of Education. And now, as Professor Jamal has told us, that it is a web-based survey now, no longer a PDF-based survey. So I think that that should work out better for us. The survey covers all the institutions in the country engaged in imparting higher education. So the data is collected on teachers, student enrollment programs, examination results, education, finance, infrastructure, etc. Now, the indicators of educational development, such as institutional density, GER, pupil-teacher ratio, gender parity, per student expenditure, are all calculated from the data that is collected in this survey. So the last survey report that I was going through, that is of 2018 to 19, the total enrollment has been estimated to be about 37 million, of which 48% were females. And the GER, as told earlier, was 26.3%. Now, the pupil-teacher ratio in universities and colleges was found to be about 29. And I'm sure in the technical session, you will get further more interesting details regarding the findings of this survey, especially for the state of Mizoram. Our GER, as per the survey of 2018-19, is slightly lower than 26.3. So I think that's one place where we can just, if we just correct our data, I'm sure that will, if we show the real data, I'm sure that will be corrected on its own. So now I'll please try to understand that this survey is a huge exercise, and it's like each college puts in a drop, and that's how the entire entire pot gets filled. So it covers 1,000 universities, 40,000 colleges, and 3.7 crore students. So the task of such a magnitude cannot be achieved without your initiative and your contribution. So it is my sincere appeal to all the principals, to teachers and staff for your kind cooperation. I understand it is something, added to your academic duties, but please understand that it is for the betterment of higher education. It's not a duty from some other department. So it'll really contribute to making policy which is practical for all parts of the country. So then for this, going ahead, the UGC rules make it mandatory to furnish correct information. So as Directorate of Higher and Technical Education, we are an active partner in this exercise, and thus for us, it is mandatory to fill correct information and timely information. So we are holding this workshop for you to understand the survey so that you can fill data comfortably. A lot of times we see when we are given any form from Government of India, a lot of things do not apply to us. So we get a little confused, a little, little stressed about it, that how do we fill this kind of data. So all those questions will be answered today. There are certain changes, certain new updations which have happened. So Professor Jamal will update you on all of those. And I think you all are expert in this survey, and you all will have very specific doubts. So I request you all to please take up all those doubts so that the filling up of the data can happen very seamlessly and without much trouble to you. So the team is here. They will answer all your doubts and queries, and whatever you have, even a very small stupid doubt also, please ask them without any hesitation. And if there are any doubts afterwards also, you can obviously email or call us, and we'll be happy to answer those. The teachers and the students are the prime stakeholders in this process, and you will be the biggest beneficiaries of a data-based scientific policy that will result from this exercise. So with that, I am thankful to the Department of Higher Education in the Ministry of Education for this grand initiative, and we promise to actively participate and provide all accurate and timely data to make this survey a success. So with that, I think I'll give it over to Professor Jamal, and I hope that it's a productive session and we all get to learn something new today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam. May I now request our colleague, Head of Mathematics and Computer Science Department, and Dr. C.P. Singh, to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. So, Joint Director P.R. Laljinjwala, Director of Higher and Technical Education, Government of Mizoram. Professor Jamal Hussain, sir, State Nodal Officer, All India Survey on Higher Education. Najwa Kumar, IAS Director, Higher and Technical Education, Government of Mizoram. All the nodal officers and college representative. I feel privileged to be part of this workshop, as I learned that this is the 7th workshop on All India Survey on Higher Education. So I first congratulate Professor Jamal Hussain, who is our senior colleague and very active, and he is doing this duty very efficient. state is one of the state which is completing all the survey and data in time. Professor Jamal Hussain get appreciation from that. So this workshop is very important because this is a kind of educational survey, and all educational survey, all the data what you prepare, so it will be compiled national wise, and it is very important for making any policy on education. So your role is very important for development of education in India. So I would like to thank Ministry Higher Education for providing the financial support for conducting this workshop. Then I would like to thank Professor Pu R. Laljuala, Joint Director, who made this workshop successful. He is always ready to help in all capacity for successful of this workshop. Then I would like to thank Madam Najwa Kumar, IAS, Director Higher and Technical Education. She has rightly said whatever is expected from all the team of this educational survey. So I would like to thank Madam for enlightening what actually needed here in this technical session. Then I would like to thank Professor Jamal Hussain sir, State Nodal Officer, for conducting this workshop successfully. I hope this will be a great success. And as Madam was saying, all the doubts will be cleared from all the participants. So with this word, I would like to thanks everyone once again. So over to you, Jamal sir.
Thank you, Dr. JP. I think we should go for the technical session immediately. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. Now I change the system again, and I'll again reopen the file. Let me share my screen. I hope the screen is visible now.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Please, yeah, please bear with me. Now I think it is stable now. So here, as I mentioned earlier, let us go to the web form. So here it is faster now, you can see. So as I mentioned earlier, to all the nodal officers, I'll insist that you go through these 12 instructions that you see here. Then it will be easier to get the form filled up successfully. Okay. So one thing that is mentioned here is every time, every page, you have to save it, and then you have to lock it. Then the next form will appear. Next form will be activated. This way we go on entering all the columns, all the forms, and once we save the last form and lock it, then we'll have an option of downloading the form before final submission. There is one button at the end that is called final submission. Now, if you press final submission, you will not have any option to edit the file, make any changes. Okay, that is final only. So before that, will be given to download whatever we entered, and then that we have to take printout and show it to the principal or the concerned authority for their approval, and then we make the final submission. So in the meantime, if suppose the higher authority suggests some change, or you feel like changing something, you can come back here before final submission. You can unlock, there will be an unlock option. Only thing, you have to go to this DCF survey status. You can see the second in the line in the left side, that options are there, the links are there. Second is survey status, that you click and then you can unlock any page. So you make necessary changes and lock it again, and then when you are satisfied with the data that you entered, then you can go for final submission. I hope it is clear. So this is what roughly is mentioned here in the instructions. So this is instruction, then DCF status, as I said, like if I press now in this form, actually I tried it earlier. You can see all are actually locked. All the columns are done actually. That's why I wanted to have a you can see the final submission here. So we should not finally submit before we make proper verification and satisfy ourselves that everything is done correctly. So I request some college to share the ID password, and so that I can, because this is already done. Now if I unlock, then you will not be understanding properly. Unlock and make some changes. Okay, so suppose how to unlock that, let me say, till I receive some ID password from the nodal officers in the chat box. Okay, or you please share. Okay, anyone, any college. So I'll open that form and then explain. So till then, let me show you how to unlock. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, that we have to go to DCF status. We are already in DCF status. So here, see, action is button is there, action. So suppose some basic information I want to change now. So I'll just press this one. Okay, you see, now it is unlocked. One message is there, basic details unlocked successfully. Now here you can see this is what is the basic details. Now it will be pre-filled in all the forms, because every year we update this, or we already have the basic information in the portal of the ministry. So it is already there. That's why it is pre-filled here. Okay, this information is already known. But if any changes you require, you can always do that. Okay, for example, these are all pre-filled. Okay, and this Dr. P. Lalrem Liana, he is the principal, I think principal of Aizawl West College. So designation is not mentioned. Maybe if I feel like this is though it is not mandatory, but we can enter it. Okay, his designation. So principal, if you want to put a landline phone number of the principal, we can enter here. So these are whatever changes we want, we can make. Lalnun Thari is the nodal officer, and her details are here. Then affiliation details, to which it is affiliated, name of the university to which affiliated, it is here, Mizoram University. Then other university, no need here. And then under the statutory body is the UGC, and this is the affiliation here, I think. So likewise, there are many. This is institutional detail, affiliated college, state government, run by state government, management is government. Then some further questions here. Yes, no type. Is it evening college? So it is no. Whether the institution is exclusively meant for students of one gender, that is also no. That autonomous institution, no. Whether institution adopted any village under Unnat Bharat, that is whatever. So this way we can yes, no type, we just have to select. and then whether staff quarter is available. They don't have, they have selected no. If you press, for example, this, then table will be generated here to enter the required information. If the staff quarter is there, okay, so that number we have to enter here. How many for teaching staff, how many for non-teaching, and total will be calculated automatically. So then student hostel. So if it is not there, you have to press no, otherwise you have to enter the data here. I think there is no confusion. It's very self-explanatory. And student hostel, they have one, and that information is here. It is women's hostel, and like this, its capacity, number of residing students, and so on. So after doing this, you know, it is simple. I think anyone can do, and most of the information will be pre-filled. And if you require any change, you can make it. After that, one has to save this page. This is important. So I save it like this. So at the top right corner, one message will come: the record has been successfully. Okay. So it is saved, no problem, no inconsistency. So we can, if we are satisfied, we can lock it. So it will ask, are you sure you want to lock this page? You select yes. So then it will be locked. Okay. So basic details locked successfully. This message will appear. So now this is it will become no more active. It is already saved. Okay. So then another button is here, which is highlighted now. That means next is it is already done, I think. So what we can do is, if you go back to this, we already again logged this basic information. So this is done now. Another is address. See, page is address, but this was not shown because it is locked already. So if I want to make any change in address of the institution, I have to unlock it first, like this. So now you can see this address button will work, and you have this address of the institution. So this also, if you want to make any change, you can make changes. So city, of course, one can use. This also is city, yeah. So as well can be entered, or any other information. Okay, and these are, I suggest all the nodal officers to enter latitude and longitude also. So from Google, it is nowadays very easy. You give proper location of your institution, it will show the latitude, longitude. So those data we can enter here. So the idea of collecting latitude, longitude is that in future, you know, one can just go to the map where it will be activated. The locations will be activated with latitude, longitude. So name of either West College will be there on the map. One can click there, and then it can go to the all information related to that college. So that is the purpose they included latitude, longitude. And finding this is easy from Google. Okay, and these are area in acre. So it is already there. We entered earlier. So this will be pre-filled, and this is the website. So any change you want in the website also, you can make necessary changes. Let's say I just input www.gawc.edu.in. So after that, you know, I'll go for saving. Now, while saving, you may get error also, because if some discrepancy is there or something is left out, then the system will remind you. And if everything is done, then the system will save the records, save the information. So let us try and save it. Okay, now it says the message has come, it is saved successfully, and then we have to lock it. Okay, so we go for locking. Okay, so it is locked successfully, and it will appear like this. It is now disabled. Okay, So you can see it is in basic information. Oh, because I logged already, so it is not showing anyway. So next, if you want to see here that both address and basic details are logged. Okay, so I earlier logged this one, so let me unlock again. It is faculty, department, and course. Okay, so I unlock this. You can see there are two things here, faculty and department. Okay, so many nodal officers, they contacted me also, because by that time I didn't go through the instructions. Now after going through the instructions, I realized it is very simple. They thought, like whether faculty or school, it is in the university, it is not in the colleges. But I think it is not in that sense. The sense is, if you have subjects, if you have disciplines related to arts, if you just fill arts, faculty of arts, or just write arts, it is a mandatory field. You cannot bypass this. Okay, so see, I put here arts, that's how it is here. So if I just delete this, initially you will see like this. Okay, initially the form will be like this. Okay, so if you don't put anything here, it will not let you save. Suppose if I am to save it, see the message comes on the red button here, that link here, please enter required field. So that means without this information, it will not allow you to proceed further. So don't think it is like a university, school, or something like that. You have to, like faculty of arts or faculty of science, wherever it is available. If you have art, science, both, you can enter separately and like that. So this I have seen that Aizawl West College has only arts subjects, so I'll put just arts here. Okay, arts, and then I save it. Now see, this table has come now here. Okay, then before you go to department, under this faculty of arts, how many departments are there, that we have to list in this form, next form. Okay, now say if I have to lock it before I go to the department. So let me lock this one. So it will ask whether you want to lock it. Yes. So now you can see it is locked. Now then department will appear, but then since it is already locked, we have to go to the status, and the department page is locked here actually. So that's why I did earlier, that's why. So you can see in the department, I did not type all this. It is pre-filled information from the previous year survey. The system knows how many departments are there in Aizawl West College and what are the departments. Lists of departments are there. For new colleges, some new colleges are there. I think Konkui College and some nursing schools. Many have joined this survey recently, so they will be doing for the first time. So for them, they have to enter the names here one by one. Okay, and the limits is given 25. So like that. So you have to enter all these departments, then it will appear here. Okay, so most of the colleges, they will see this list automatically, because it is pre-filled, it is taken from the previous year survey. Okay, all right. So let me log this one, because no change is required, so that we can proceed further. So let me go back to for unlocking, because I logged earlier all. So next is number 5, faculty department course. This is same topic with different pages. So earlier it was faculty and department, so that is done. Now it is regular program. That means program run by those departments. Okay, so what we need to do, let us see. Let me unlock it. Okay, now it is unlocked. You can see one message comes, it comes automatically. See, there are two options. One is programs that are run through departments, and some institutions may be there. For example, law college, they don't, maybe they don't have a, I guess, different departments. This is only one related to law. So their department may not be there, but most of the colleges will have department. Even I think Aizawl West College also is having these 8 departments that we had seen, but somehow they entered, not through department, but as other program. See, other program. It says program through department is 0. In fact, previously they did not enter the information department wise. That should have been the case. So I appeal to Aizawl West College to take care of this time. They can do it here easily. So what we have to do is like they say, that there is one message in the chat from Dr. J. Lalbobika from PUC. College having arts, science, commerce, etc. Can you show clearly how to do it? Okay, sure. Sure, let me finish this. Okay, so since see here it is insisting that you enter this information, this table is blank. In those colleges where the information is entered through departments, this list will appear here. But since they did not enter the information through departments, they enter the programs as other program. Okay, so it is not shown here. Now they have, what they have to do is to select this thing, okay, and then select the departments one by one. Then it will be through the department. Okay, now it is through other. See, I think we have to unlock again. Department is locked, so let me unlock. Oh, no, sorry. Achha, this regular program, we have to lock it first. So let me see. Regular program details. So this one, though no information is here, we have to lock it, I think. Just lock it, yes. Then this other program will be highlighted. So this other program we have to unlock, of course, before we start. So this other program, that means this one. So okay, now see other programs, this list will appear. Okay, they have entered as other programs. So the list is here. Okay, so what I have done here, this everything was pre-filled. Only thing, year of start was not there. Okay, so I just entered myself. So the college will do it once again. The some year I entered here, and then accreditation status, whether it is still valid, invalid, you have to select. If it is valid, you have to do like this. Okay. If the institution has a valid score, then we have to select valid, and this is program wise. Okay, after doing this, we'll lock it. Okay, so it is locked successfully. So this part is done. I think in faculty course this is done already. Regular program details also. Okay, this is regular program. So we have to go to the next, student enrollment. So let me unlock first. Student enrollment is here. There are two pages, I think. Regular course, program through department, program through others. Same thing is here again, because all the programs are through department. So there are two options are there. So let me unlock. Okay, so it comes like this. The form is like this, and all instruction, as I said, please read this thing carefully. Every page has instruction. And this also I wanted to show some slides. Because of this network problem and power problem, I could not start properly. So I'll show you those slides, the important dates and important information I listed in some slides. So this is to be noted very carefully, this one. Okay, this thing you see, number of students enrollment as on 31st December 2020. Earlier usual date was 30th September of the year, 30th September. Usually the admission takes place in June, July. Okay, the program starts sometime in August. So by September we have all enrollment information. So that's how it was, 30th September. As on that date we had to enter these information. Now the date is pushed little bit to accommodate all the institutions who could not complete their admission process due to pandemic situation. So that's why they, for this year only, I guess they made it 31st December last year, not this year, 2020. As on that date, what is the enrollment status? We have to enter here. Students in first year, second year, third year, number of students in usual male, female form, and category wise general, SC, ST, OBC. And now you will see in the form they even included transgender also. Okay, third gender. So that information also, if it is available, we have to enter. And on top of that, some reservation number of seats earmark has to be mentioned along with each category, like general. Then EWS is also added, general, EWS, SC, ST, OBC, like this. And a PhD enrollment also, all student enrollment also, it is as on 31st December 2020. Please note this date. So collect the information accordingly. Okay. And these are further information. So new thing is here, you can see third from the below, number of EWS should be out of general. Okay. This I think 10% reservation is there, but that has to be from the general seats. So EWS cannot exceed general number of seats. This is important. Otherwise, it will show discrepancy. Okay. And I think the rest will be simple. So program through departments. Now, since this has no program through departments, okay. So see, what we'll do is just skip this one by locking it, okay, because it is not programmed through department. Okay, so let me see, other program is unlocked or locked, still locked. Other program, enrollment, other program, this one, let us unlock it. Okay. Now you can see here, this is activated. You can see all these programs, pre-filled programs. So now these are the programs. Now corresponding to these programs, what is the enrollment? Now, if you select here department wise, let's say economics. So these will be pre-filled information. See, except this year. Year means which year data you are entering. First year, second year, third year. These are student enrollment. First year enrollment means, by 31st December 2020, whichever admission took place. Many institutions, maybe MZU also did it in time. Okay. But many of the majority of the institutions could not do it on time. So that's why, the date is shifted to 31st December 2020. So as on 31st December 2020, program wise, how many students are there in each program? Okay. So this is the subject economics. Okay. So these are pre-filled information, and then we have to select year. This is in which year the students data we are entering. So first year, okay, those who took admission before 31st December 2020, that information we have to enter here. Okay. All right. So let us look at this. Look at this table. So it is different table than the earlier tables. So what is the difference? The seat year mark as per GOI or state government. Okay. So this number of seats or the reservations, it will be as per state government or what is the current practice. I have no comment to make in this case. So suppose, 100 seats are available, assuming that, let us put something. Okay. EWS will be 10. So let me say 20 seats are earmarked for general, and you have total, let's say, in admission 10 general, let's say, 10 general, and out of those 10 general, 5 are female. I appeal to all the new nodal officers from new institutions are there. For example, some nursing schools like BN Nursing School, then Nursing School Thingdol in Kolasit, then Konpui College. I think the nodal officers are here. Please note this thing carefully. Okay. And if further assistance and support will provide, but try and understand now also. Okay. It's not at all difficult, provided you go through the instructions carefully and try and understand these tables and all this information that we enter. So suppose it is 20, just assuming that 100 seats are there in this program of economics in Aizawl West College, and 10 got admission, and then, like 5 out of them are female. So 5 male, 5 female. If some transgender is there, that also you can enter here. Okay. So this will be like this. So then you go to EWS. Now EWS, let's say 10% is reserved, so we'll put 10, but this 10 will be from whatever reservation is there in general, I think, from there. So maybe you can write 3 people and one of them is female, suppose, and likewise. Then you go to SC. SC, usually SC, ST, just I'm assuming, let's say 45% is ST because this state is all belong to ST category. So let me say 45 seats are for, this is my assumption only, I mean, just for the sake of entering data, okay? You have to do it as per the current practice or as per state government instruction, okay? So let's say 45 seats are here, and then let's say SC/ST combined, we usually take 50%. So let me say 5 seats are earmarked for SC people. So there may not be any student, okay, suppose, and 45 here in ST category. So let's say all took admission, 45, and 20 are female, let's say. Okay, transgender 0, let us assume. So BCA, I think no reservation is followed here, I think, if I'm correct. So let us put it like this. So after that, this is the first row, which talks about total enrollment category wise. Okay, then out of this total, you can see if you go column wise, all the new nodal officers, please note this thing. So column wise, you can see 10 students from general category have got admission, and then out of this 10, if there is some PWD, means persons with disability. See, if you want to know about all this, PWD is mentioned here, persons with disability, all instructions. So that's why I appeal to all nodal officers, please go through once all these instructions before you fill up the form. Okay, because I already went through and I have the idea, so I'm not reading everything. Okay, so out of this total 10, how many are PW? So if I say put it 12, will it be okay? Because total is 10. 12 out of 10, 12 cannot be PWD. Okay, it has to be less than or equal to 10. Okay, so some may be there or may not be there. So if PWD, suppose 2 persons are PWD out of this 10, okay? Then Muslim minority, this general people, if some Muslim students are there, you have to enter accordingly, okay? So let's say 1, let me assume 1, and then other minority, let me say it is 3. Okay, so there will be no overlapping between these two, but then this may overlap also, no problem. But this cannot exceed 10. So this is out of 10, how many are like this? So here, if you see that other minority is mentioned here. Okay, now other minority, if you want to know the new nodal officers, you can see here. What is the meaning of other minority? Okay, see, other minority is highlighted here. Other minority means Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists, Zoroastrians, those are Parsis, and Jains. So these are the 5 other minority categories. Okay, so out of minorities, Muslim minorities are counted separately, and then other minorities are clubbed together. But then from the beginning also, we have been segregating this. In the main form, we club together, but again we separate them, count separately. So here, earlier it was a different form called other minority form, but that is no more required here. Okay, this is the only wave form we have to fill up. Okay, in that way, as Madam also mentioned, it is easier than the previous way of collecting information. So here, only thing you have to click here to activate this other minority breakup available. That means if you have other minority information, then only you select this, and then this will be highlighted. See, means out of this other minority 3, how many are Christian, for example, or how many are Buddhist, Jains, Parsis, Sikhs? Okay, so let's say I say 1 is or 2 is. In other minority, I put 3, so total must be 3 only. So I put let's say 1 Buddhist I put. Then suppose I have 3 Christians, but those will not be general. Let me say Sikh. Okay. So what we can do is, this is only 1 column is here, you can see 1 row is here, but to enter others you have to go to the end of this form, and you can see a plus sign here. If you want to delete some row, you can delete from here, or if you want to add some row, you can just press this. So you can see another row will appear here. Okay, another row will be there like this here. So let me say some Sikh or whatever, or okay, so those are, let's say, 2. Okay, so total is, see, 2 plus 1 3, so it has to be exactly this. Note this, because we are breaking up only this other minority. Okay, because other minority, 5 minority communities are clubbed together, so we have, if we have data, we can separate them. Okay, if you don't have data, then you have to select this no here. Other minority breakup available or not. If it is not available, you just press no. Okay, I hope it is clear to you now. So this is corresponding to this economics program. Okay, so after this, you have to add, I think you have to add this one. So it says course already enrolled for this year. Course already enrolled for this year. Oh, acha, see this, because like this I already added all this. Now when I add this one, this information comes down here. See, this is arts and then economics. I think I was doing economics somewhere. Economics will be there. Where is economics? Here. So this information was already entered for this program. Okay, so if you want to make changes here, I think we have to press here first. Okay, if we press this, I think here the option of updating will be there. Now whatever we entered, we can update, and then this information will come here. So it is done like that. So I think it will not be very difficult. Okay, I think there should not be any confusion. If I see any comment in chat, I'll respond to that. Let me read out some of this. I think Lal Bobika, I'll show later on. Go to faculty. Achha. Okay, I agree, Pooh Lawrence, that you have, I think, different faculties are available. Is it you have only science? I think. Anyway, we'll discuss this thing. And then in school, faculty, arts, science are to fill together or separately. In case all are available, I think we have to see. I'll come to that. Same question. Reservation seat earmark. Okay. So as for reservation, as I say, it will be, now you can see the instruction is as per GOI or state government. Okay, so I think in the Northeast, a national reservation policy is not followed. So whatever current practice or state government instruction, we have to follow that. Okay. Can traditional region be categorized under minority? Now this, I'm not sure who is saying this. Lalvin, someone. Okay. Now I think because of many of the tribal regions in the Northeast, people are from ST category. So current practices or whatever we are doing from the beginning is that even if majority are from ST, still we considered in minority because that is considered nationally a minority community. Okay, so okay, Vijay Kumar Malik is saying second year is second year. Vijay, can you write again? After adding first year, I think I'm getting your point that after when I enter all this and I update or I add, then one row will be appearing here. Okay, that means that table is done, and then you have to go to the year here. Okay, I think we already updated, so it is not highlighted now. Okay, it should not be a problem. I think if you want third year, we can update again like that. So I hope it is clear. So first, what you have to do is select the program here. Usually it will not be other program. It will be through the department, and this will be pre-filled, and you have to select this discipline or subject, and this will be pre-filled automatically. And then you have to select the year. Select year one by one, first year, enter the enrollment as on 31st December 2020. And at this, one row will appear below like this. One row will appear corresponding to that discipline or subject. And then again go to this, and then you change here year 2. Okay, make it year 2. Then another table will come, and then enter the information, and then add it. Okay, so likewise you see English here, English first year, English second year, English third year, it will appear. That means all are entered here. Then you change the discipline and do it once again, first year, second year, third year, and so on. I hope it is clear to you. Please keep on mentioning your doubts in the chat box. Maybe at the end we'll request the host to give you permission to talk, and then we can have live discussion also. So student enrollment, suppose it is over, and then foreign student will be there. Foreign student enrollment regular course. So let me go to this. So foreign student, where it is? Foreign student enrollment regular course through department. So I did not log this one. So it shows here pending. If you don't lock it, it will show pending. So you have to go back and then lock it. Okay. So here, let me not unlock this because it is not through department. Other department they have done. So let us go back here. Okay. So here, whether foreign students are enrolled in the institution, yes, no. If it is yes, obviously you put yes, then one table will appear. There we have to put the foreign student enrollment information. So if I click yes, see what happens. Approved intake capacity, international students along with NRI and PIO students. So what is the intake capacity that we have to enter? And then subsequently the table may be generated. So we have to fill up that. Usually it will be no. So let me put no and we can save. I think it is already saved and then we can lock it. Okay. So let us proceed further. Foreign student, then examination result. See, then placement information. So let us unlock this thing. Examination result, you can see again through department, no need to unlock in this case, as you know, I told you. So let us unlock the other programs. So this is for other programs, and again please go through in each page you will have some important instruction. Now see the first line here, number of students passed, awarded degree as on 31st December 2020. So it has to be like this. So this information you have to collect from the examination section that is available in your institution. So from their record they will tell you number of students in first year as on this date, second year and third year. We have to enter like that. Okay. So this will be given by the examination department about number of students who appeared, number of students who passed, and then number of students who got more than 60% or first class. So these three tables we have to fill up in each discipline, I think. So here you can see program through other. Okay, so other, we have highlighted this. So it is coming only other department through other program. So here you can see, I think I have already added this thing here. Okay. So suppose in economics, I want to make some change. What I have done, let me see. Economics, if we want to make some changes, earlier I think I didn't put anything, just simplified my job. Thought that no student may appear also because of any reason, so I kept all zeros. No, here I entered ST. Under ST category 20 students appeared, out of them 10 were female and they were in other minority also. Okay, so like that I entered, and that's how I'll have this information, economics result here. Okay, in the suppose you want to update something, so let's say this is how many got 60%. The 20, all of them passed. Let me say 15 got first class. Okay, and out of them 10 are female, for example. So it could be 15 also, no problem here. So I can write 15. Okay, and then now since I made change, I'll update it. Okay, so accordingly this result will be updated here in economics. Okay, so after this, you know, wherever, because here I already made, so you need to take I mean, activate this and then update it and save it and things like that. So I can lock also, or this summary will be generated automatically. Number of students appeared in final year examination, this much. Number of students passed, this much, all passed. Total number of girl passed awarded C, this also is calculated. These are all automatic, the system will calculate. Okay, you don't have to bother. Then number of boys they have separated now. Okay, and transgender, that is 0 here, so like that. Okay, so we can lock it here, this information, and we are through. Okay, so next let us see what comes after examination result. After examination result, we have staff information. Okay, so let me unlock it, staff information. So staff information in 3 pages, I think. Staff details, designation wise sanction strength, and non-teaching information. So in 3 categories it is there. Let me unlock. Okay, so here you can see. So staff details, it was pre-filled. Okay, so here most of the things will remain same, but if there is some addition from 2019-20 survey after that, that means 30th September of 2019, after that if some teaching staff has joined, his name will come here. Okay, if not, this list will remain same, so you don't have much of work. It will be pre-filled from previous year survey. Okay, so I think these are all these people, and then there may be some change in the status. Now, change in status, it means, you know, whether they are retired or they're transferred or whatever. So this date, I think we have to enter. Okay, and you see it is job status. Job status, either he is continuing or he is a newly appointed teacher, or he is promoted to a different category. So you have to just select, okay, the appropriate information for all these, you know, teaching staff. But mostly I think will be continue. So by default it will appear continue. That means, you know, they are just continuing. So earlier I think some left and many things I can see. So accordingly, please revise, but this has to be as on 31st December 2020. Okay, whatever change is there. So that change date we have to put here. Whatever change, suppose he left, on what date he has left, that we have to select. Okay, he is retired, on what date he has retired. So we'll select here retired and put the retiring date. Okay, I hope it is very clear. And the course, whether it is vocational or not, I think almost all are non-vocational, if I'm correct. So like that. So if you want to make changes, okay, you can edit here and then make the necessary changes. So I think we can lock it. Then let us go back to the survey. Exam result is over. Staff information and designation wise sanction strength. Let us see. Sanction strength we have to mention here. Okay, so see, this is highlighted now, designation wise sanction strength. So this in position, the system will calculate automatically. There are total altogether 49 teaching staff in Aizawl West College. And out of that, how many assistant professor in position? It shows associate professor and so on. So corresponding sanction strength we have to enter here. Okay, but this is not made mandatory, I think. And people in vocational course who are teaching vocational course, we can mention here. So I think there is no confusion in this case. So we can lock it and go to the next. So staff information, sanction set, and non-teaching information is as usual, as you know, non-teaching information is collected in this form. Okay, I just filled up some information here. So I did it from here. So if you want to make changes, for example, I already entered. So if you want to make changes in, let's say, not in these 4 categories, the information is to be entered. Number of non-teaching staff excluding library and physical education. Please note this, library and physical education are counted separately. That's why this part is excluding them. See, library staff is here, physical education staff is here. So excluding this, it is counted here. And then how many are contextual? So in these 4 categories, non-teaching staffs are information is sought. So I just entered some information. Suppose after this I am to make some update it. Now it says add here, but it will say update if I press here. Okay, so I have to just update this non-teaching staff excluding library and physical education staff. So in group B we have 13. I had said. Okay, so if you want to make some change, you can change it. I just put in ST category, that is the usual case here. So 13.4 and then like that. All right, so if you want to update, you just since we have not made any changes, so there is no question of updating. Let's say I put them in how to make the changes. Edit. I think we have to edit here. Let's say I put 10. Then make it, let's say, 8 in this category, and some other category, let's say general. So it could be, this is only the sanction strength. I think one can exceed this also. If the system permits, you can do it, or otherwise we have to make it 10. Okay, so 2 persons. And if I put female 0, that means both the persons, and transgender also 0. That means they are male and non-transgender. Okay, so like this. So if I make these changes, I think I can now update. Please enter required field. What is the required field? Which field is left? Let me see. These are made red, some issues, or let me try reset. Reset I have to do, I think. Okay, reset we have to do, and do it once again when you want to update this. So it's like this, and group B, let's say. And stuff. Group A is allowed. Let me. I know what is happening because group B earlier I entered. Maybe that is not. Let me see. 2 here. S3 8 here. And it says what? The sum of female and transgender count is greater than total in general. What happened here? It is put 2 here, but 2 should be here. Okay, so likewise, if we give wrong information, it will remind us. So now this is successfully added and updated here. Okay, so likewise, doing all this, then this part again it will calculate on its own, and then we have to log this page. So next is staff information is over. So financial information, and financial information we have to unlock first, because I already logged. You don't have to do this because for you it will be all unlocked. So financial information. Let us unlock so we can see the financial so it was already entered pre-filled, I think. So I just saved, and if we want to make any changes we can do, or as usual, this is the usual format of entering the information. These are amount in thousands. This I think system will calculate. Amount in absolute rupees, this we have to enter in absolute rupees. This is our income, I think. No, this is expenditure. What about income? Income is not unlocked, so we have to unlock it. financial information. See, this income is not unlocked, so that's why we could not do it. So now here you can edit both income and expenditure. So you already know from UGC, if you receive something from state government and like that, so all income from tuition fee also from the students. If you have other income, you have to enter here. So this will be in absolute rupees, and this in thousands it will calculate automatically. Okay, so once you do this, you have to save it, so saved automatically, and then you have to lock so that it goes to expenditure part. Now this is expenditure. Again, if you want to make any changes, you have to enter only in this amount in absolute rupees. This part you have to enter. This second part in thousands is will compute automatically, and then you have to save and you have to lock, and it will ask yes, no, so you have to do. So likewise, financial information, infrastructure. Again, infrastructure we have to unlock. Let me unlock infrastructure. Infrastructure is here. Okay, so we can unlock, and let's see what is this. So this you can see is the usual form that we have been doing earlier. For the new nodal officers also, I'll just explain that. You see, if the institution has a playground, now you have to tick here yes. By default, one will appear, one playground. But if your institution has more playgrounds, so you just edit this. Suppose we have 2, so you just edit 2 like this. Auditorium, how many you can enter? Sometimes it is more than 1 also. Theater, if it is there, you can add. Library, obviously some library will be there. And then once you say, you click this 1 will come on by default. If you have more libraries, you can edit this. And then number of books you have to write here, available in the library. Number of journals, how many? Okay. Do you have laboratory? Like if you have to press tick this, and then corresponding this default value 1 can be edited. Then conference hall, likewise, everything. Okay, everything. Those infrastructure available in your institution, you have to click and then add the number of such infrastructure. So here it is for whether it is differently able friendly. Okay, whether different redressal, vigilance, equal opportunity, sexual harassment cell is available or not. It is those which are available you have to tick. Okay, just ticking, that's all. And here number of toilets. Okay, total toilets, how many? For girls, how many you have to write. Okay, exclusively for girls, like that. Toilet for disabled males, whether it is available or not. Disabled female, whether it is available or not, like that number you have to put here. Okay, now whether you have disaster management facilities, whether you have you conduct capacity building and training, awareness programs conducted or not, yes or no, whether vulnerability assessment checks were made during the year, is any mock drill or rehearsal program conducted, whether the institution has internal quality assurance cell, IQAC, yes or no. So this you have to select and then save it and then lock it. Okay. Okay, so it is as simple as that. Then infrastructure is the last option. I think scholarship part is there, so we have to unlock it first. Let us go to the status and scholarship. There are, I think, 4 pages are here. One is related to scholarship, one is fellowship, educational loan, accreditation, information. So I think all these are very simple. For example, let us go to scholarship. Okay. First, it will ask you whether information of institution maintains scholarship data, yes or no. Please select yes if you really have the data, and or you can manage the data, because providing information is important. It has benefits, rather than just saying no. Sometimes we should not take advantage of this, but if we can somehow provide the scholarship information, we should press yes. And then if we press yes, I think some information it will ask. For example, if I press this, so it is in this format again: student availing scholarship in this category wise table, the usual table. Okay. All right. So I hope it is clear to you. Once you log this, it will go to fellowship, then educational loan, then accreditation, like that. Okay. So we did not make any change. So let us lock it again. And then I think we are almost 3 now. So accreditation, if we unlock, it is like this: accreditation body. There will be different bodies here, drop down menus. So Indian Council of Agricultural Research, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, and other, also some other may be there that we can enter. Okay. So likewise, these are all self-explanatory. No confusion is there. Whatever score provided, whether provided or not, yes or no, maximum score is 4. Then whatever score your institution has received, then cycle of accreditation, which cycle, first or second or third, like that. Status accreditation, it is what is the current status, whether it's still valid. That valid, invalid, we have to the date of accreditation validity. Okay. So validity is up to 1st December 2021. Now validity is expired, I think. So the college has to decide what to do with this. So likewise, after entering, we can lock it again. Okay. So after that, what happens? So we let us go to the status. So the status says that this final submission is not activated, is because some are still pending, right? We did not block these pages. Okay. So 2 pages only we did not block, so we can take action. We can go to student enrollment, other program, regular course, student enrollment. So let us go to student enrollment here, and not this one. This is regular course, or both are. This is foreign student. I think it is this one. This, it seems it is already logged. Maybe the other one. This is also locked, right? Other program was not locked. This was not locked. So let us lock it. Now it is locked. Okay. And what else? We can see the status from survey status. What else? Foreign student enrollment, other program. This is not locked. So foreign student enrollment. Okay, if you go here, this is not logged. See, we say whether foreign students are enrolled in the institution. Yes, no. If it is no, let us lock it. So it is already locked now. So let us go back to survey status. Okay, so you can see all these are locked now. All these are, oh, sorry. What happened? What happened? Foreign students. Maybe we have to save it first and then lock it. Now it is locked. Okay, so let us go to survey status. Now you can see all are locked, otherwise it will say pending. Now when it is pending, you cannot submit final submission, but please don't go to final submission. Okay, this is very important. If you press final submission, you will not be able to edit anything anymore. So this has to be done after all possible verification. And see, poor Lal Ram Liana, the principal, hereby certify that the information furnished above is correct and based on the actual facts. Now this is a certificate from the principal. Now if I just submit here, principal will not even know that he is certifying. So please don't press final submit. What you do at the top, you will see that download DCF1 server 1, DCF server 2. Don't bother about this server 1 and server 2. Probably they have put the information in different servers. So you will get from anyone. Okay. So if I just try and download this, see what will happen. So see, one file is downloaded here. It's name with the name college DCF. Okay, so you can go and open this file. Okay, see this college DCF. So here all the data are captured, whatever we entered. Okay, column wise, every information will be available here. So you are supposed to take a printout of this. Okay, print option will be there. You download it, save it in your computer, take a printout. That printed version you show it to the principal or the whoever is the concerned authority. You show to them and then get it certified. In your hard copy, you get it signed by the head of the institution. Okay, keep this as a record with you so that there will not be any question on your role. Okay, it has to be certified. Just take the signature of the head of the institution on this. Okay, and if anything he or she suggests, you can do, or if you feel some correction is required, you can go back as I unlocked and I edited and logged again. The same thing you can do. Okay, after doing all the correction, the final copy, get it signed by the head of the institution. And after complete satisfaction from your side, you go and press this press this important button, finish final submit. Okay, because after this you will not be able to edit anything. It is submitted to the Government of India, Ministry of Education. After that, it will be difficult. Okay, so I think if our host Suraj, can we just make them speak so that we can have some live interaction? We see some hands here. Is Laltan Pui. I'll allow her to talk. Laltan Pui, if you can.
Sir,
Yes. Please introduce yourself. I may not remember the institution.
I am from Government Khozol College.
Okay, very good. Yes. Yeah, please tell me.
What should I say?
Oh no, I thought you have some query, some question. Do you have?
No, sir. Thank you.
No. Okay. Anyone else who would like to ask any question? Please raise your hand so that we can allow you to talk. Lawrence. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir,
Yes, please.
what is the definition of program here in ISA? Is it the same as those that we use in NAC?
Yeah, I think program is there is no confusion. Everywhere it is same. Program means, suppose the department is running various programs. Let's say BA in economics, okay, or economics department is running economics. So that economics program is the program by the department. They may have other programs also in addition to this BA economics. Okay, so whatever programs are run by the department, they can always list here. Okay, because all information, student enrollment will be as per the program. If you have two programs, it will generate two different tables. Okay. So
here in our college, we have some department which are programs, some department which are not programs, like in biochemistry. It is studied up to 4th semester, so it does not lead up to degree. According to NAC, that biochemistry which does not lead up to degree is not a program.
You are right.
It is only a department, not a program.
I got Lawrence. I got it. Not program means what? Actually, they are not offering from the department. Had it been a major course, okay, honors, offering honors, so those programs will be their departmental programs. Now, I think they are like taking, teaching students who got combination of subjects. No, besides their honors, okay, let's say mathematics honors, then physics, chemistry, general. So physics, chemistry will be taught by physics, chemistry department, okay, as a general subject. So some department like biochemistry you mentioned, they don't give honors, but then wherever required, they serve, they teach other department students, okay. So in that case, we should not make a program, because if it is a program, we have to enter program wise student enrollment also, because they are not enrolling in biochemistry, so they will not reflect as a program. That is fine. It should be like that.
I ask this because in the faculty and department course, in the first page, there is a faculty. Then there is a department. In the department, since we put biochemistry, that biochemistry appears in the students' enrollment. Student enrollment, I mean biochemistry, we don't have any biochemistry honors students.
No, one way, if I don't exactly remember, but if it is like that, you put all data to be 0.
Okay.
Okay, in the table, that means it will mean there is no student.
Ah,
That also will indicate that the department is not offering any honors.
hmm,
Okay, that can be
Yeah.
one solution.
that's it.
Mm.
That's all.
Yeah. So that's all, Lawrence.
Yes, yes, sir, that's all.
Thank you so much. Anyone else? Vobika is there?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Vobika, please go ahead.
Yes, you said that you're going to show me how to enter art, science, commerce separately.
Right. That,
Can you
that,
kindly do it?
that I did not explore. It may take a little time. So
Okay. Let me try myself.
yeah, you try, or I'll be in touch with you also, and I'll inform all other colleges also. Okay, because
Okay.
looking into that and finding solution may take little time, and we are already beyond 3 now.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. And we have Nitul, I think. Nitul, you can unmute and you can talk. Anyone else? Any other doubt? You can raise hands, okay? All right. Then let me see our panelists. Pu Lalian Jwala is still there. Pujwala, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear. I'm listening to all the proceedings.
Very good. Thank you so much. Yes. So Pujwala, you want to add anything? We want to wind up, I think, now.
What I want to say is nothing but thanks to all of us. We are at the end of the year. However, we may need to call another workshop like this during this month, either on the 29th or 30th. If not, if we cannot conduct this, we may conduct it again in the month of January. That will be very high time for all of us. I thank
Yeah.
all the participants from different colleges. I am very fortunate this year that I was able to visit all the colleges, government colleges outside the Aizawl during September, October, and November. It is God's grace that I am able to visit all the colleges, but in a very short time, during partial lockdown, we cannot meet all the teaching faculty also. However, God has extended his grace to me with good health. And I thank God and I thank all of you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Pujwala. And I just want to remind our nodal officers and all of us. In fact, the survey, as we know, started on 1st of December this year. And it will be open up to 28th of February. So we have this 3 months, December, January, February. Okay, within that, I think we have enough time. And with our experience of previous survey years, I think we can easily do it. And then waveform also, as you might have seen, is not difficult. Only thing that is Pujwala is that seats earmarked for various categories. So I think if the colleges are well aware of this, it is fine. Otherwise, maybe you can pass on this information that what should be the practice, or what do you suggest from the state government side? Because we have been, I think, following some reservation criteria, so that can be communicated. Because one problem with this new form is SC and ST are now separated. In MZD also, we always club together this SC and ST, and we have hardly any SC candidate in admission. So usually we accommodate all ST also. So this has to be separated. We cannot call it SC, ST. In our university also, I have approached the registrar and asked them to take a decision and advise us how we go for the seat earmarked for, let's say, SC and ST separately. So far, we have been doing together, club together. So a clear instruction to all colleges, all institutions from the state government side in this regard will be very helpful. And looking into this time period, I think we have enough time, and I'll be all the time available, approachable. Even if I am out of station, I'll be reachable through email, through phone, WhatsApp, any form. So any nodal officer should feel free to contact me anytime for any technical difficulty or any other issue. Okay, if required, we shall take help of ministry people. They are always extending their help, all possible help. So with the hope that like previous years, we'll be able to complete this year survey also in time, and we can upload 100% for all institutions. I thank everyone, because all these years they are supporting, they're with a lot of hard work, they're uploading the information, and this is very, very important, exercise. Though it is just collecting some information and uploading, but impact is huge. I always keep telling this, that the government has a novel cause of assessing GER and improving that. As Madam also mentioned, in NEP 2020, the target is 50%. Now the current national GER is 27.1, and the enrollment as per the last report, 2019-20 report, the enrollment is 3.5 crore, 56 crore, something like that. So they want to double this. Now, if 27 is, you kind of double it, you are near 50%. So that is the whole target, whole aim of Government of India. Okay. So our job is to provide correct information, authentic information, so that they get a true picture of higher education status. Okay, with these words, I would conclude, and I am always reachable. As I said, you can always contact me. And
Apu Jamal.
yes.
Can I say something here?
Yeah, please.
Regarding the reservation, if you allow me, let me share one file.
Yeah, but I think along with Puzwala, you please talk to him before making it public, so that there should not be any confusion.
Yes, this file is, I received it from the government of Mizoram during our SSR preparation.
Okay.
Regarding the reservation.
Okay.
Let me share one file.
Okay. You want to share your?
Yeah, regarding that seat earmark.
So yeah, I'll promote you to panelists so that you can share your screen. Okay. Now I think you can share. To Lawrence.
I hope it is visible, sir.
You shared your screen, huh?
Certification, I am sharing my screen.
Okay.
There is a file called
Wait,
certification.
wait. I have to, I think, stop. Now you circulate, share, please.
Okay.
Now you share again. Yeah, now it is visible. Yes, yes.
This is the file that we got from the government of Mizoram during our SSR preparation in NAC.
Okay.
The reservation is SC 15. 15% of what? 15% of sanction seat strength in each department.
Yeah.
During our admission, we say that we can, let's say, in physics, we can admit up to 100, let's say.
Okay.
You see, the college in admission committee says like that. That
Okay.
is the sanction strength. The sanction strength of 15%. That
Okay.
means 15 in physics. We can add SC reservation will be 15% of sanction seat strength.
Right.
It's like that.
Mhm.
But
So it's
it is
very good if it is mentioned.
yeah.
If you please share in the group,
Yes.
like a group, and then
Yes.
all can follow this. So this
Yes.
is obviously authentic from Higher and Technical Education Department, Government of Mizoram. So it will be uniform. All can follow this.
Yes, I'll share this in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, please share it. Yes.
Okay, that's all.
Okay then.
Regarding the Vobika problem, it's very easy.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, he can go to faculty, department, and course. He can go to the first one, faculty, type
Yes.
arts, and save. Next, type science, save. Next, type commerce, save. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. I thought, because I did not see that one, I did not want to comment, but I'm sure it will be easy like that. Yes.
Easy.
Bobika is there. Bobika still there. Okay. Anyway, we'll talk to him. And for all others who are present, please note that it is not difficult. You just have to add another row, I think, and enter different faculty. Okay, so with these words, I thank everyone for your patience and for your presence in this webinar. I hope now you are more confident to fill up this online web form. And as I mentioned, we are always approachable, so you can contact me or Pujwala anytime. So let us keep the target to complete this as early as possible. Okay, so thank you everyone. And yeah, wish
Thank
you
you,
all the best.
Pujamal, and all the other participants.